Alright, so this is my review on the new Rapido Trains 187 scale GM lineup. So I talked to Jordan from Rapido. I did a podcast with him, and we talked about these cars, and I guess we teamed up in a sense to he'd send me the cars when they were available, and I would do a review on them. I might be the first person to do a review, not sure, but nonetheless, he sent me the cars, as you can see in these photos, and these are the cars I'm going to do the review on. So the cool thing is they're very well done. They're very well packaged. The boxes are very nice. The cases that they came in are great, and I would think any buyer, any consumer of these products would be very happy with them, because they are very nice, and they're very well put together. So this first one is I think the MYPD blue, maybe because it's a blue car, is the first one up, and I'm basically showing you from step by step how I open it up and then, showcase the car. Obviously, I mean, you can see I thought I could push through that little opening. That was not the case. Either way, they slide out very easily, and you can see just within the package they come in, they are very nicely done. The plastic clear case is very visible, and you can see this cop car even comes with accessories. How many cars do you know in this scale come with accessories? Not too many. So this was very cool. And towards the end, or I guess the second part of this video, I show you more detailed photos of those parts, and then show you what they are. So they roll very easily. They're very nice. The wheels are pretty good. And overall, first look at the cop car, it is very well made, very detailed. You got the 6 lights in the back, the 4 headlights in the front. The grille is divoted, to emulate what a grille would look like. The car is done very well. And the next one is this blue, probably Caprice. I'm just gonna say full-size Chevy. That's a box Chevy. That's what it is. Or a GM box vehicle. But this is, I guess, the more stock version of the car. Basic blue. Looks like probably the upgraded model, because you have the chrome. I think they're bumper guards for the doors, and then the chrome trim underneath the door. For added accent details. Once again, just like the cop car, built very well, packaged very nicely, and just as detailed. The wheels are great. The detail on the windows is good. I think most people that get these cars, honestly, unless they're like me or maybe a handful of other people, are going to leave them stock and not do anything with them, because they really don't need anything done to them. I mean, if that's like the era you're modeling is late 70s to 80s, these are perfect vehicles to capture that time period. And they're done very well. I mean, if you do anything to them, not like what I do to them, but you'd probably just weather them, make them look, a little dirty, depending on where your layout is being modeled from. And the next one is this green one, another top of the line model. You see the bumper guards on the doors. You got the chrome bumpers, the chrome rims, and they are rims. They're not like a hubcap. I mean, obviously in this scale, it'd almost be hard to tell the difference, but these would be more of a a cross lace. I guess it could be a rim hubcap combo. I'm not sure. Either way, very good paint. I didn't see any flaws in any of these vehicles as I was opening them up and checking them all out. I mean, it even has mirrors, which some of these cars don't in this scale. You have the marker lights for the turn signals up in the front grille. I mean, everything is done very well. And then next one up is the station wagon. The Woody station wagon. I mean, the faux wood. You see, it's pretty easy to open these packages to the displays. They did a very good job of making it open friendly. It's not like you have to do any kind of tricks to make it open up any quicker or any easier. And like I said, the clear case is just remarkable. It's perfect clear. It's not smudged. It's just beautiful. And then this model alone too. I mean, so well done. I don't see any flaws in any of the vehicles. I mean, even with some of the, say, Oxford diecast, most of those wheels are way too big for those cars. They're like 1/64 scale wheels compared to a 1/87 scale car. These wheels are perfect size for the vehicle. They're perfect width for the vehicle. And once again, this would probably be an top of the line model. You got the chrome roof rack, the chrome body panels on the bottom of the car, cross lace rims, and overall great looking vehicle. Everything looks very, very good. I mean, there's no complaints on any of these vehicles. They did their research, they did their marketing for who can build them and who can do them the right way, and all they're going back and forth to make sure that the final product is perfect was well worth it. And I did this interview last year or the year before. I think it was last year, the beginning of the year maybe, about these vehicles. And so it took a while for them to get made and get them out to us, but they are well worth the wait, let me tell you. I mean, they are so good. I honestly have no complaints. And if you can, once you guys get them and you can find a complaint, I'd love for you to tell me, because I myself, I'm not really into this year or decade style vehicles. I do appreciate them. I know what they are. I know what they did for the car community, but it's too late in the years for me. I like them, 60s and 50s and then before that. But I can't see anything wrong with these vehicles. These are just great looking vehicles for the scale and for the detail for the exterior, because interior, the second half of this video, you'll see I did show you guys the interior, but nobody's going to see the interior when you're looking at these cars. That's why all the cars have base black interiors, because interiors, as important as they are, they're not all that important compared to the detail on the outside, because you're just going to put these cars on your layout, and they're just going to be showcased as just a background, or maybe not even a background, maybe a second to the train or to your buildings or to your scenery, whatever. But the detail of the interior is still pretty good. You have an actual steering wheel. You actually have I'd say textured interior. I'd almost call it like a tuck and roll from like the 50s. You can actually see the indentions in the seats and stuff. So they did put some detail in the interior, which they didn't need to. They could have just left it, like a base, flat, no thrills, no spills type of interior. But they went as far as actually doing that, and you'll see this coming up here soon. But I will say, second half of the video, I did take a few of them apart just to show you, and I did it live. I didn't do no still pictures. It's all on the video from beginning to the end of taking it all apart, so you can see just how easy it is to do so when I get to that part of this video. But with that being said, the cars are very nice. The bodies, they are thin. They're not thin as in I'd say if you dropped it you'd probably break it. It's pretty well designed, I guess. But the bodies are thin, and why I'm trying to say that is the rear tail lights are molded in part of the body. So if you wanted to put LED lights in there, it would be almost nothing for you to drill out the 6 lights on the back of the box GM vehicles. And then you add your LEDs, because it's not a thick plastic. Oh, and they are plastic. So they're very light and very easy to work with. So if you were to drill it out, you want to put lights in it, it's so easy to do so because it's thin plastic. Oh, and one of the neat things is when we get to this part of the video, the windows. I left the windows in the car when undoing it, like I'm showing you here, undoing the car, breaking it apart so you can see what it takes to do it. I left the windows in because, kind of like the RPS trucks, that they're I guess like a give and take of, if you pop out the windows they might break. These windows appear to be probably twice as thin as the RPS trucks windows. So I thought if I were to try to finagle these windows out, I might break them, because they are ultra thin. I'd say thinner than the actual plastic that made the body. And I didn't want to break those windows trying to do a tutorial on and a review on these cars, because that would have looked bad. And I wanted to do a one take showing you from beginning of the end how it is to undo these cars. Now you see that front bumper's got that chrome nipple coming out of the body. Well, that chassis was being held up by that's rectangle nipple coming through the body. That actually is what the grill and bumper push into to like glue it down. Well, taking it out, I did not know that. And on top of that, you really need to get that bumper out first before you take the chassis out, the front bumper, because if you look here, there's 2 rectangle slots back there for the back of the chassis to fit in. And so I didn't want to break that part out, and then in doing so I end up breaking that little halo that held the front of the chassis in. But you see what I'm doing here, that's a license plate, which is another chrome license plate piece with a nipple that kind of pops in to that rectangle shape that it fits into, which you didn't even have to do that, Rapido. That is just such an extra over the top added detail part that you didn't need. And you can see there's glue that's holding that together. So everything is glued very well. I mean, it's obviously very easy to take apart because you can see this is a one take and I'm doing it with ease. But if you didn't take it apart, you wouldn't have to worry about it falling and breaking and having pieces fall off, because whatever glue they used is a really sticky glue. And see right there, I'm actually trying to pop out the window, and I thought I shouldn't, but I did give it a shot though. I wanted to see if I could get it out, and then playing with it like I am, I figured if I keep going, I risk just cracking the window, and I don't want to do that. So I mean, they did a good job in detailing the parts. I mean, you have that extra license plate in the back of this car. That's a separate piece altogether. They could have just molded that in very easily, and they didn't. But you see there the interior of the seats. It's got those little like ribs in the inserts of the seats. That's pretty detailed. They didn't need to put that either, but they did. I mean, I guarantee 75% of the people that buy these cars are not going to tear them apart like this to customize them. They're just going to buy them and lay them on their layout or collect them, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But you can see they went through the trouble to put those ribs in the inserts. I mean, it's pretty cool of them, I think. But the wheels, they pop out very easily, as you can see what I'm going to be doing right here. You just shimmy them loose and they pop out, and you just shimmy them back in to get them in. I will say, shimmying them back together, they don't go in as easy as they came out, and it is a plastic rim that you're pushing that in. So like I just did there, if you're not careful, you might just break that ring, or that whatever you want to call it, that the rod goes in. So be careful when you put them back into the chassis once you're done customizing your car or changing the wheels or whatever. But what I'm doing here, I'm just kind of showing you all the parts that it takes and that it has for the regular GM box Chevys. Just interior, chassis, body, interior, wheels, and front and rear grille and bumpers. Obviously, this is the station wagon, and I chose to do this station wagon unlike the other station wagon. I thought this one, I'm not a big fan of this color combo. I mean, you got the yellow and then the wood grain. I don't know. I thought the other wagon looked nicer, so I didn't want to take that one apart. But being that this is a different body, the back end is a little bit different, so it looks like the way they had these bumpers in, it goes on the same exact way. It just, they fit a little bit different because the rear end's different, or not the rear end, but the back end of the car is different. So it gave me a little bit of a tough time, but since I knew how to take the front piece off after the fact of the box Chevy, I knew how to take this one off. But this one here was glued on much better than the box Chevy. In fact, so good that it was giving me some headaches. I wouldn't say headaches. I was just struggling to get it off. I knew how it came off. I just couldn't get it to come off without prying it too hard to where I thought, well, if I left the chassis on, I might break it. And I, again, want to break a piece of one of these cars, being that I plan on putting them back together. But you can see, at least I'm still trying to do it. I didn't want to give up on it. So I said, screw it. I'm taking the chassis apart, once again breaking that little halo that sits against that rectangle nipple that's in the body. And now I'm going to painstakingly try to get that bumper and grille off. They glued this one on much better than the green car, or no, I'm sorry, than the cop car. But it still comes off the same way. I knew I could get it off. I just didn't want to break it. But now that I see 100% that it's made the same way, or it's, put in the same way as the box Chevy one was, that I knew I could get it out. I just had to play with it a little bit and make it happen. But even the grille and bumper light, if you wanted to drill out the lights in that, it's just plastic, so you have the ability to do so. You can see that glue was sticking like crazy. It did not want to let go. But you can drill through the headlights of the grill because it's just plastic and add some LED lights in there. I think that was one of the smart things that Rapido did, is make their cars plastic and their parts plastic for that very reason. I mean, half of their products in the vehicle section, like their buses, come with lights anyways. So they had to make sure if they were going to do it, other people could do it as well. And they did just that. So that's pretty cool. I will say, okay, I did say there was no flaws, no downfalls, no nothing. That rear part of the wagon, it almost looks like there's a tonneau cover or a bed cover on there. So all the wagons are that way, that at least the two that I have. So there's no say bed, exposed bed, or whatever you'd call the rear end of a station wagon. Like if you wanted to cut the rear windows out and maybe stick lumber back there or whatever, it just lay flat and it wouldn't be at too much of an angle because there's like a cover from the back seat to the back window. Even if you wanted to go as far as putting a third row seat back there, you'd have to cut that off. Not saying that you couldn't cut it off, you just have to. And then you have to figure out a way to hide the rear wheels. But that's the only thing about the wagon. Everything else about the wagon is perfect. It's a great wagon. And just like the police car, everything is very easy to take apart. You see, that's the stock. That's the blue one. And those are all the pieces. So you can see the difference from something that's put together all nice and pretty to something that gets taken apart with maybe, I don't know, how long did I take that blue car apart? 3 minutes? Maybe? So it's very easy. And all you need is a little tiny screwdriver. You don't need much. Just like this one. This one has just the same amount of pieces. The only difference is it's got a roof rack compared to the box Chevy. And the roof rack, it's got those male pieces with the roof of the car having the female slot, so it just fits right in perfect. You can see the rims there, cross-lace rims, very detailed rims. So that's pretty cool. And the neat thing is they did such a good job at the paint jobs. You can see the chrome strips around the window frames. Most models don't have that in this scale. And here's the police car details. Even the police car's got the chrome window trim. That's just awesome. And the neat thing is these wheels, the police car wheels, they got little dog dish chrome hubcaps. So you got the rim to match the paint. That's cool. So what you're seeing here, you got push bars front and back. I think back. I don't know how many many police cars with rear push bars, but they look like the same exact push bar. I could be wrong, and you police guys would know more than I would. But you got 2 push bars. You got 2 extra light bars for the top. And the really neat thing is the light bars that come on the car are the oval shaped light bars. The second pair are the triangular shaped light bars. And then it comes with 2 extra lenses so you can pop off either one to have all blue lights. At least for the cop car. I'm assuming they'll probably make a fire car that'll have all red lights, like a fire police chief's car. And you can see the oval lights and then the rectangular bright lights. And then the lenses here, same thing, oval, rectangular. If that's what you call those. I don't know what you call those rectangular ones. But the neat thing is it also has spotlights, which are those. That's cool. For what? What would you need I mean, I know why you need spotlights, but why would you need to add those? Just Rapido went all out in making their cars and their product just better than the rest. And then I don't really know what this spotlights, not spotlight, but lights for. I don't know what and where they would have that kind of a light. Maybe highway patrol, or I don't know. But they had that other light bar that was not as cool looking as the other two. And this is for all of you to see size comparisons. That's 3D printed from Mad About Cars, and that is a 73 Dodge Monaco, and then you got the, or maybe 83 Dodge Monaco, and then the flame truck behind it is a classic Metalworks 54 Chevy, or maybe 54 Ford. I think it's a 55 or 54 Ford. My bad. Anyways, the size comparison for the Rapido cars are spot on to all other 187 scale vehicles. But I hope you guys like it. Let me know in the comments what you think.